Okay, here with Carter Bryant. So just finished up playing for the Generals. What were some of the key takeaways that you had playing against the World Team and the USA team?
I still have a lot of work to do. I feel like I got to compete at a high level this weekend with the World and the USA team. I got to play against a lot of good players that I've been watching play for a while. Haven't got to play against the majority of them. So for me to come out and compete and not shy away from the smoke, as everybody calls it, I appreciate it. It was fun. It was a good opportunity for me.
What was kind of your mentality coming into this event?
Play as hard as I can, both sides of the floor. I had a few plays in both games where I definitely could have went harder. Kind of just a few times where we came down, got a bad shot or good shot, whatever it may be, got to stop and kind of jogged my way back on offense. I feel like I did pretty good staying engaged defensively, but in staying engaged on both sides of the ball, it definitely creates a bigger gap between me and the next guy.
Went up against a bunch of physical wings like Mackenzie Mbako, Ron Holland, Eric Daly, Omaha. Just what was it like going against those older guys that are about to enter college?
I mean, obviously there's a physical difference between the players I was playing earlier this year and those guys, but nothing changes really. It's just a matter, we all lift weights. We all compete at a high level. We all work really hard, so just understanding that just not to shy away from it, not to be afraid of anybody, not to fear anybody. We all put in our shoes the same way, our socks, our shirt, all that good stuff. So just going out and playing the right way.
You know, this is your second event now representing USA basketball. You just competed at the mini camp in Houston. You know, what's it like to have the USA across your chest?
Man, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It's kind of hard to speak on it because my freshman year I was out due to injury. And then I was even frustrated when I didn't get selected for USA that year, even though I came off injury. Just me being a competitor and wanting to play against the best guys in the country, or so-called the best guys in the country. I was just frustrated. So, and then last year for me not to be selected either my sophomore year and then my junior year coming in, I just wanted to compete. I feel like I definitely could have played a lot better. I kind of came in with butterflies. It was kind of a surreal moment, but I feel like I made a big jump from last weekend to this weekend. I feel like I definitely could have dominated. I feel like I was one of the best players there, as every guy should, just for the respect for themselves and the work they put in. But I definitely feel like I could have dominated that more, and I definitely did that. I kind of played lackadaisical, just not making right reads, just being kind of lazy, and getting back to this weekend, just understanding that I definitely could have dominated that, but I didn't. I came in with a different mindset this week.
And you know, a bunch of scouts in attendance the past few days. You know, what do you feel like you were able to show them?
I mean, I feel like I was able to show them that I can guard multiple positions. I think we had a few plays where I went from guarding Isaiah Collier to Ron Holland, and then I switched on to a big fella, I switched on to Sean Stewart, a guy that a bunch of different play types, just knowing personnel, knowing who can shoot, what they want to do, if they want to go left, go right, if they're a pass first guy, shoot first guy, knowing if they want to go the right or left, if they want to sidestep, just doing the little things. So just understanding matchups, and that comes from just playing and just understanding the game. And I feel like I did a good job talking on both ends, just kind of directing guys on the floor. Even though I was one of the younger guys here, I feel like I did a good job of kind of being a vocal leader and just leading the way by my actions.
What are some things that kind of immediately come to mind? You know, we just wrapped up the USA scrimmage, but you know, when you go back home, what are some things that you take away from this? Like, all right, I got to work on X, Y, Z.
Got to work on my ball handling for sure. That's something that comes with time. Learning poise, understanding certain defensive guys if they're going to be more aggressive or not. Me being 6'7", 6'8", I got to understand that I can put guys like. For example, there was a play where I definitely could have went by Jackson Steckel. Instead, I just kind of put him on my back and walked him down. I tried to play with the ball a little bit. I got ripped. They got an easy layup. Just a matter of just looking back on this film and just understanding what I can work on. I feel like I could do better kind of getting downhill and finishing. I feel like we didn't have a lot of guys that could space the floor out on our team necessarily. So I feel like I was able to shoot the ball more, but I feel like I definitely could have gone to the gap, got 2 feet in the paint to make more plays. And definitely rebounding. I kind of stood around and watched a few plays, especially when we had our 7-footers in, just because they kind of just take up so much space. And for them, there was a few times, no disrespect to them, but a few times the USA team just came in, hit a few bodies, and went up and go get the rebound, and I definitely could have came and cleaned it up, understanding that they're hitting bodies as well as I am, but even though I hit a body, I have to rebound outside my area.
you got a little workout in after the game.
Yeah.
Just talk about, what, your work ethic that way, just how much you kind of living in the gym.
Just everything stays the same no matter where I'm at. Understanding that there's always work to be done. I can always get better. It came from watching the greats. I've gotten to talk to Kobe, KG, a lot of guys, Jamal Crawford, that's like a big brother to me. Just learning from those guys. Just understanding, like, everybody's good. There's a lot of guys now that are 6'8", that can shoot, that can dribble, but what's gonna set me apart is like my work ethic, just understanding like the intangibles, the little things that are controllables. Like a lot of guys wanna do everything offensively and defensively. They kind of rely on their athleticism and the little things. Like a lot of people don't work on defensive stuff. They don't use stuff in the weight room that's gonna translate to the court. So just separating myself that way, and yeah.
What really like motivates you or pushes you to be great?
Just me being a competitor with myself, me wanting to just be the greatest version of myself that I can. I definitely want to be in that room of names, God willing. Just with Kobe, LeBron, Michael Jordan, all those guys, I want to definitely be in that room. I want my name to be mentioned when you talk about those guys. So just working towards that, and even if I do get to the point where my name is in that, working to surpass that.
As you mentioned, you recently spoke with Kevin Garnett.
Mm-hmm.
What's some of the advice he shared with you?
Just be a dog. Just be a dog. There's a lot of things that people can have. They can have bigger hands than you, longer arms. They can be more athletic. They can jump higher. All those things. But one thing you're not going to do is outwork me. So I've kind of took that straight to the head, straight to the heart, and just try to push myself. Like understanding that I want to be the first one and last one out, and not necessarily just like working myself doing stupid things, because a lot of times I feel like people go in the gym and they'll work for 3-4 hours workout, but they won't be working on the right things or things they won't do in the game. And even like 30 minutes after practice or before practice or an hour, however it may long be, just making sure I get the most out of all those reps. Like I listen to a lot of podcasts with a lot of NBA guys, a lot of overseas guys, a lot of guys that have experience, and I use my resources, like talking to college guys and like guys like Dalen Terry and guys like Corin. I learned a lot from him this weekend. I got to play with him. There's a lot of guys at the college level that I'm connected to, and I just talk to them about everything, ask them questions, and just constantly learn.
Your dad coaches you and stuff like that. You guys have a good relationship, but what are some things that he's kind of instilled in you, and what's it like to have him as a head coach?
One thing I would say instilled in me is just never being satisfied. I would say him and my mom did a great job with just having me just never being satisfied with whatever I do, academically, athletically, just understanding there's always more work to be put in. They also raised me with just understanding that everybody deserves some sort of respect, not necessarily pat you on the back, like when I'm guarding you, oh, that's a good move, or like stuff like that, but just understanding to respect the game and respect other people, because they put in a lot of work as well. So just never looking down on competition or whatever that may be.
Gotcha. What are some of your goals coming into this summer playing with Paul George?
Win Peach. That's it. Win Peach. There's also different personal things that you want to accomplish, but it doesn't mean anything if you can't win games. A lot of college coaches, NBA scouts want to see if you can contribute to a winning team and lead a team, and I feel like I did a good job of that during the high school season. I definitely want to translate that to the next level. I definitely want to, every time I step on the floor, guys that are so-called ranked ahead of me or under me, I just want to make sure, let them know just that you can't really compete with me. No disrespect to them, but I want to kind of be like, okay, you think you're better than me. I know you don't work harder than me. I just want to dominate and just do what I do.
You recently narrowed down your school list to Arizona and Louisville.
Yeah.
Just kind of talk about each one of those programs and what makes them special.
I'd say Louisville, Coach Payne, Coach Smith, Coach Wagner, a lot of those guys, you can't say enough about it. It's just a bunch of legendary guys. Coach KP, he coached under, he was with Coach Calipari, head coach at Oregon for a few years. Just a legendary coach. He's pushed out a lot of pros, been in the gym late nights, early mornings, all that stuff. So just learning from them as well. Coach Nolan Smith, he's like an uncle to me. He's always been there for me. He's been there through my trials and errors. Talked to me after games and stuff like that, just letting me know what I did good, what I need to improve on, just getting feedback constantly. Coach Wagner, he's a legend. He's all-time leading scorer, I believe, still in New Jersey. just like learning from those guys, just speaking to them and just being receptive to the information they give me. Coach Lloyd, Coach under Coach Few. Coach Few was a great coach, so he definitely learned a lot. Coach Murphy coached at the NBA level under the Nuggets, college, high school, all those good things. Coach Ricardo Foyes, he coached at the NBA level when they made it to the championship with the Phoenix Suns. So just understand I can learn a lot from them as well. But when I'm going through this recruiting process, I just definitely want to I got the game taken away from me my freshman year, so it was kind of hard from COVID and leg injury. So understanding just to be receptive to all information and take all that information and run away with it kind of, because I feel like a lot of times in my, kids in my generation, that we kind of hear stuff and we just believe that we're above everything. We kind of just believe that we know everything because we have access to social media and all these things. So when I do get opportunities to speak to them, just listening to that and just looking at what these coaches have produced. Like you have Coach Payne when he was at University of Kentucky, he produced a lot of guys. He got to watch a lot of guys. Coach Nolan Smith, he was at Duke. You got to see a lot of guys go through that, a lot of big guards, a lot of wings. Same thing at Kentucky. And the same thing at Gonzaga with Coach Lloyd. He got to see a lot of guards, a lot of bigs, a lot of hybrids, just stuff like that. So just understanding what gives me the best opportunity to succeed athletically and academically, and just making my decision from there.
Gotcha. Do you have any sort of timeline on when you're hoping to make a decision that way?
No, not yet. I'm just kind of taking it day by day.
How would you kind of see your role at that next level when it's time to make a jump?
I feel like what I did today, or what I did the past 2 days, can translate to the next level. Just defending at a high level, rebounding the ball, talking, communicating, just being a leader on both ends of the floor. And I feel like it's hard to say offensively because I feel like I can grow so much more as I feel like I should. You see a lot of guys that make a big jump at the next level, and the guys that don't. They kind of stay stagnant, and they get to the NBA level and they kind of just flourish there. I definitely feel like I'm going to grow more as time goes on, but that's kind of just for time to tell. Just understanding, if I don't necessarily grow as much as I feel like I will, I know I'm going to still put in work. I'm just going to be consistent with what I do.
And we'll wrap it up with this, but ideally 5-6 years from now, where do you see yourself?
I see myself competing for an NBA championship on a roster next to high-level guys.
Awesome. Thank you for the time, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.